All right, so let us talk about this idea. Do you give to get something in return? Okay, so let me share with you kind of an interesting thing that happened this past week. I have started many courses and classes and programs throughout this pandemic. I think we've got 24 of them going on right now. And so there's a lot of activity happening out there in the internet world, okay? And I had two people come to me this week, and it really highlighted for me, number one, the differences in personalities and I guess motivation, but also how do I interact with people? So how do I interact with people that might be telling me I'm awesome, and how do I interact with people who are telling me the opposite? Right? So what about you? Do you have people who wholeheartedly support what you do? And then you have others who maybe you can affectionately put into that haters column? Yeah. So do you give to get, or do you give to give? Okay. So for example, do you give knowing, hey, the law of reciprocity says if I give something to somebody, I'm going to get something back. That's a universal law. That's not something Michelle made up. Okay. That actually happens, and it might not be from that person, but it might be from somebody else. Right. So I know if I go and I give, that something will come back to me, but that's not my motivation. That's not my guiding force. My guiding motivation is to help other people grow. Okay? All right, so let me tell you about these two people. Two lovely ladies, and neither one of them is right or wrong, it just is. So the first person reached out, and if you know anything about the DISC personality profile, DISC, if you want to know, we've got some courses that can walk you through that. One course that I'm thinking of right now, if you want to go on our website, it's a free one I have out there. It's on developmental leadership, and it will talk you through some of the DISC personalities. You can also Google it. It's something that's been out there for 25 plus years. It's very research based, and it works all across all cultures. Okay, so it's not like go on Facebook and find out what Disney princess you are, right? It's actually a tried and true and research proven system for personalities. So the DISC. So I'm not going to tell you everything about it, but this one person that came to me was what we consider an IC. So the I is somebody who's very outgoing and people oriented, loves to have fun, and just a people person, right? And the C is somebody who is a little more cognitive, cautious. They're very reserved but task-oriented, okay? So overall, a very well-rounded person. Now, she came and she said, oh my gosh, Michelle, I bought this one course from you. This was amazing. I cannot believe how much I've learned from you in just a short amount of time, and just really praising me, right? It was really lovely, and I could tell she was very grateful. And quite frankly, I was grateful that she shared that with me. When I'm doing these kinds of things, it's not just to hear myself talk, because quite frankly, I'm a reserved person. I could just go and sit in a corner with a book and I'd be just as happy, okay? But when I do these kinds of things, whether it's, doing a video like this or running a course or class or going out and speaking in a live event, I do them because I love to help people see how awesome they are and how to move forward. Okay, so it was great to hear from this person. I was like, yay, awesome, that's so great. Now listen, that one comment, it doesn't mean that I'm taking that on as a part of my identity, because you see, I trust myself. I know who I am. I'm secure in myself. That's one comment out of how many, right? Now, the next person who came into my awareness, again, very lovely lady, very different personality. So she had the C side in her. So she's very reserved and task-oriented, but she also had a high D in her. So D is outgoing and task-oriented, but they tend to be a little bit more pushy, a little demanding. They love results, right? And so this DC personality, they know that they're right. And they have no problem telling you that you're wrong, okay? So she came into my awareness and basically said, hey, I saw that you're going to launch this program. Yeah, this isn't going to work. And she told me all the reasons why it wouldn't work. Now, I have to look at that comment and say, okay, I'm not going to get derailed in my identity because she's telling me that I'm wrong. I looked at it and I said, okay, well, she is clearly the expert in this one area. However, the program is not about that. The program uses that as, a focus, but the real purpose behind what I was trying to do is to show systems and processes and how can you manage yourself and your time well. All things, actually, she admitted that she needed. However, because I was doing it and talking about a certain topic that she was an expert on, she couldn't get her mind wrapped around that idea of, but I know more than you and your system isn't going to work. Well, okay, you can come in and watch my system and see which parts you could use, or you could discount the whole thing. That's your choice, right? And so as I was, interacting with both of these, I realized several things about myself. Number one, I was pleasantly, surprised that neither one of those comments really took me off the mark, so to speak. So I didn't get overly joyous because of the one great comment, and I didn't, beat myself up because of the one negative comment. It was like, oh, okay, because I realized it was more about, that interaction was more about that person than it was about me. Okay? So, the IC person, listen, that's not the whole truth. That's her truth that she's seeing in me. And the CD person, that's not the whole truth. That's her truth that she's seeing in me. And so what can I kind of take and make work for me, and how can I help them? So, defense, criticism, worry, anxiety, they really have no place here for me because it's not about me. So I don't have to defend myself. I don't have to critique that person. I don't have to worry about it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, listen, I used to do that all the time. When I suffered from people pleasing like crazy, I was defending myself. I was criticizing other people. I know, ironic, you're trying to please them, right? But you're also trying to kind of protect yourself as you do it. So now when I've got these two people in front of me, I ask myself, okay, why are you giving? Are you giving to get something? Or are you giving to give? Now, after talking with one of my coaches, I realized on the other side of it, I could have handled it just a little bit differently, realizing, number one, that the CD personality is not going to buy my product. There's something resistant in their brain that's always going to keep them from buying that. And that has nothing to do with me. And I'm okay with that. However, my goal is really to help whoever it is to grow. So I could have asked a really good question. Right? So when that person was sharing, this is my process, this is what I do, awesome. So I could have asked the question, how's that working for you? How's that working for you? So now I know on the other side of that, more about me, and that I really do trust myself, and more about the other person, knowing that, what they were coming at me with was about them, not about me. But now I also know, okay, when I'm dealing with this kind of a person or personality type, go into the questioning mode and just let it linger, because that right there is going to help them to learn and grow. And perhaps later on down the road, they will jump into some sort of class or course with me. But, really examining, why am I giving? Am I giving to get something, or am I giving to serve? So how can you intentionally give and accept help, happiness, and joy today? So Maxwell Maltz, in his book Psycho-Cybernetics, which we're going to talk a lot about in our upcoming self-image mastery course, he said, let us not refuse the help, happiness, and joy that others may bring us, or that we can give to them. I love that. Let us not refuse the help, happiness, and joy that others can bring us and that we can bring to them. So in this interaction, recognizing the one person brought a lot of joy, like, oh, awesome, let's celebrate that. And how can I give her something in return, right? And recognizing the second person came to me, maybe not a lot of help, happiness, or joy, right? But how can I turn that into help for myself, which I did? And then also, in that moment, how can I still give her help, happiness, and joy, even though she seems like maybe a difficult person in the moment? Okay? That's all I have for you today, guys. I really just wanted to bring that example. I know many of you are often dealing with people who seem very difficult. And when you can do that sort of holy struggle and wrestling with your thoughts and saying, why is this person difficult to me? Does it say more about them or me? And, what can I learn from this? That's where you really start to learn and grow in your life and become a better person in general. And that's where you start to receive the benefits of that holy struggle, okay? So think about how you can give help, happiness, and joy to others, and please, in whatever way you can, accept help, happiness, and joy from others as well, okay? Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for joining us today. I never take it lightly when you choose to spend time with me, so thank you so much. And with that, I release you into the wild. Go forth and prosper. Have an amazing day, and we'll catch you next time. All right, bye-bye.